What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin Breeze here, and in this video, we're going to be comparing the new BLU Vivo XL4 to the BLU Vivo Go. So without further ado, let's get started. So this video has been highly requested by the people who've been watching my videos, and that's because I have full reviews on both of these devices, and people really wanted to see me put the two head to head. Now these two devices have also been recently released by BLU, so they're both very new to the market. Now they're both also factory unlocked and they work only on GSM carriers. So in the United States, you can use these on AT&T and T-Mobile, as well as Metro by T-Mobile and Cricket. The BLU Vivo XL4 is available for $129.99, and the BLU Vivo Go is available for $79.99. So if you buy the BLU Vivo Go, you're going to be saving $50. Now I also recommend taking a look at the links in the video description, as I'll take you over to the current pricing for these two devices, because it's very possible that there might have been a price reduction since the time of me filming this video. The BLU Vivo XL4 features a 6.2-inch display, and the BLU Vivo Go features a 6-inch display. Now, even though the display is smaller on paper with the BLU Vivo Go, the two are pretty much the same size, and the phones themselves are pretty much the same size as well. The big difference though is that with the BLU Vivo XL4, you have a notch, and with the BLU Vivo Go, you don't have a notch. So even though the display is larger on the XL4, it does have that notch on the top that does take up quite a bit of space. Now personally, I think both devices have a good design. They both look great, they both look really nice, and they definitely both look a lot more expensive than they are. So whether or not you want a device with a notch is up to you. That's kind of your own personal preference. But for me, the notch isn't really a big deciding factor. Now both devices feature a 720p display, and normally I would kind of see that as a bad thing. But what's great about both of these devices is that they both have really outstanding displays. I mentioned this a lot in the reviews that I did for these two devices, but really, you can see holding them up right next to each other, both displays look really good. They both have great colors here, and the colors in these two displays actually look better than a lot of 1080p devices that I've used in the past. So if you're worried about these devices having 720p displays, I don't think you should be worried, because they look great, and they're going to be great both indoors and outdoors as well. And if you're using these devices out in the sunlight and everything, that won't really be a big issue because both devices are super bright. These two devices also feature an 18:9 aspect ratio display, which means that these displays are taller than traditional 16:9 smartphones, which means they're better for content viewing and web browsing. Now both of these devices feature front-facing flashes for the front-facing cameras, which is a really unique feature that you really don't see too often on any devices, let alone budget devices. Now the BLU Vivo XL4 has a much better front-facing camera, coming in at 13 megapixels, compared to the BLU Vivo Go, which has a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. You're also going to get portrait mode with the front-facing camera on the BLU Vivo XL4, which is something that you can't get with the BLU Vivo Go. And personally, I've noticed a big difference between the camera quality for the front-facing cameras in these two devices. So it's not just the fact that one has more megapixels than the other, you really are going to get a lot better camera performance with the BLU Vivo XL4. So if you're big into taking pictures, if you take selfies all the time, then you might want to consider getting the BLU Vivo XL4 over the BLU Vivo Go. The BLU Vivo XL4 has 32 gigabytes of internal storage, with the ability to expand that with a microSD card. And the BLU Vivo Go has 16 gigabytes of internal storage, and you also have the ability to expand that with an SD card. So you're getting double the amount of internal storage with the BLU Vivo XL4. Neither of these two devices have wireless charging, which is fine because that's not really a feature I'd expect on a budget smartphone. Both devices have fingerprint sensors in the back, which is awesome. On the BLU Vivo XL4, we have a 13 megapixel main camera on the rear, and we also have a 2 megapixel secondary camera. So you're going to be able to do portrait mode with the BLU Vivo XL4, which is awesome. Now with the BLU Vivo Go, we have an 8 megapixel rear facing camera and a 0.3 megapixel secondary camera, and they don't officially call it portrait mode, but you have this like bokeh effect that you can do with the rear facing camera, which is kind of like portrait mode. The BLU Vivo XL4 features 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the BLU Vivo Go features 1 gigabyte of RAM. So you're getting 3 times the amount of RAM on the BLU Vivo XL4. The BLU Vivo XL4 features the MediaTek Helio P22 processor, and the BLU Vivo Go features the MediaTek MT6739 processor. And from my personal use of these two devices, they both run well. They actually both run surprisingly better than I was expecting. But I will say that the BLU Vivo XL4 does perform a lot better. And I think that MediaTek Helio P22 processor is a lot better of a processor than the processor that comes with the BLU Vivo Go. And that's one of the reasons why it performs better. Also, when you combine that with the BLU Vivo XL4 having more RAM, you're going to have a better experience browsing the web, playing games, and really doing anything. Both devices record video at a maximum resolution of 1080p at 30 frames per second. And the BLU Vivo XL4 has a giant 4,000 milliamp hour internal battery. And the BLU Vivo Go has a battery size that's still impressive at 2,600 milliamp hours. So with both devices, you're getting solid battery life and you're getting large batteries, so battery performance won't be an issue for you. The BLU Vivo XL4 runs Android 8.0 Oreo out of the box, and the BLU Vivo Go runs Android 9.0 Pie Go Edition. So we have newer software on the BLU Vivo Go, and this also runs, like I mentioned, Android Go, which is a special version of Android that's optimized for lower-end devices so that the devices will run better with lower specifications. This is kind of an example of what you're going to get. You can see here with the BLU Vivo Go, we have these special Go optimized applications. And what that means is that these apps are not nearly as large in file size, and they're also a little bit stripped down. Now, in return, you're going to get better performance with those applications on this device. The good thing too, though, is that you actually have access to every application in the Google Play Store. So just because there are Go optimized apps on the BLU Vivo Go doesn't mean that you're limited to Go apps. So it's awesome that you still have the ability to download any application in the Google Play Store. Taking a look at the left side of these two devices, on the BLU Vivo XL4, all we have is the SIM card slot and the micro SD card slot here on the top. And on the BLU Vivo Go, we have the volume rocker here at the bottom, and we also have this special toggle button. Now when you tap on that button, you're going to be given two options here. You're going to be given accelerate mode, which kind of kills all background tasks on your device so it runs faster. And you also have power saving mode, which kind of switches the device into the special mode where it goes to black and white, and you can only use limited functionalities like your phone, contacts, clock, and messages. You can add other applications here as well, but it really just wants you to use those more basic applications. Then you can tap on the toggle button to turn that mode off and go back to normal. I think that's a really awesome feature, and I really like how there's a special button for it. And I think it's really going to help when you're in those situations where you don't have a charger nearby and you need to use your phone. On the right side of these two devices, in the BLU Vivo XL4, we have the volume rocker and we have the power button. And on the BLU Vivo Go, we have the slot for the SIM card and micro SD card, and we have the power button. Then on the top of these two devices, on the BLU Vivo XL4, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, and that's it. And on the BLU Vivo Go, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and the micro USB port. And it's kind of weird too that the micro USB port is on the top. I've never really seen that, at least recently, on a smartphone. Taking a look at the bottom side of these two devices, on the BLU Vivo XL4, we have the microphone and we have the micro USB port. And on the BLU Vivo Go, we have the speaker. Now, taking a look at the back, there's some big differences here, at least in the style. So the BLU Vivo XL4 has this like metal back on it, and the BLU Vivo Go has more of a plasticky, polished back on it. And I actually prefer the way that the BLU Vivo Go looks on the back. I think it looks a lot more stylish, but really it's not a huge deal because you're probably going to be using a case with these two devices anyway. But I'm not a big fan how, especially on the BLU Vivo XL4, it really kind of soaks in the grease from my fingers. And it's not like my fingers were dirty when I was picking up this phone. This is just from like my normal hands. So that just kind of says a lot in itself. But both devices have the dual cameras here, the flash, the blue logos, and the fingerprint sensors. But on the BLU Vivo XL4, we have the speaker grill. So when I first heard that the BLU Vivo Go comes with Android Go Edition, I was a little bit concerned about kind of having a stripped down experience here. But the cool thing is that I've noticed is that pretty much you can do anything you want on the Go Edition. There's really no compromises in features or anything like that. It's just that it's better optimized for a device with lower end specifications. So if you're worried about losing certain features, you're not. So I really wouldn't let the fact that this has Go Edition be a reason to not buy the phone. Alright, so now that we've compared the hardware of these two devices, I wanted to do a speed test between these two. So we're going to start off by starting up the camera to see which device is first to pull up its camera. 1, 2, 3, go. And it looks like the BLU Vivo XL4 was first to pull up the camera. Let's now pull up Google Chrome in these two devices. So 1, 2, 3, go. The BLU Vivo XL4 was also first to pull up Google Chrome. Let's now pull up Yahoo. 1, 2, 3, go. The BLU Vivo XL4 was quicker in this test as well. Let's now pull up Engadget.com on these two devices. 1, 2, 3, go. You can see in this test, it looks like the BLU Vivo XL4 was a lot faster. And finally, let's pull up an article here. So 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so I think that should give you a good idea, at least at a surface level, which device is a little bit faster than the other. So clearly the BLU Vivo XL4 is faster than the BLU Vivo Go. So as far as my final opinion goes in these two devices, I actually think these are both great devices, and I don't think you could really go wrong with either one. It just depends on your budget. Now both of these devices are fairly inexpensive, but if you really need to save $50 for whatever reason, then the BLU Vivo Go is not a bad choice by any means. But if you can afford to spend $50 more on your phone, then I think you'll really appreciate getting the BLU Vivo XL4 because it's a lot faster in many ways, and I think this device will last a lot longer too, and it's a little bit more future-proofed by having better specifications than the BLU Vivo Go. I think with the BLU Vivo XL4, you'll be able to use this for many years, but with the BLU Vivo Go, with its very limited specifications, might just be ridiculously slow in a much shorter period of time. So if I really had to pick one to recommend, I would recommend the BLU Vivo XL4 over the BLU Vivo Go. I just think that it's an overall better value because you're getting way better specifications for the price. And again, the BLU Vivo Go is still a great phone. It's much better than any other phone I've ever used that's $80. So really, for the price, this is unbeatable. It's just that I think it's kind of worth paying just a little bit more to get the BLU Vivo XL4, but really you can't go wrong with either of these. Both of these devices are way better than the competition that I've used in this price range, and I think you'll be very happy if you purchase either of these. Now let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. And again, if you're a big fan of the BLU Vivo Go, I don't want you to get mad at my conclusion here because I think you still picked a great device. I just think that for an extra $50, it's worth getting the BLU Vivo XL4. But if you want to buy either of these two devices, definitely take a look at my Amazon affiliate links in the video description, as I get a small cut from the sale if you buy through those links. So if I've helped you out at all, that's a great way to kind of give back to the work that I do here, and it doesn't cost you anything at all. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing way more coverage on both of these devices on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But this is Kevin Breeze here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye.